Hi guys, welcome to my garden. I wanted to do this video for so long. I swear I've done like four tries of this since April, and I probably could have posted all of them as an update for each month at this point. But right now I just wanted to show you how my garden looks this year, this season. It's quite different. A lot of things are very different. I'll try to find you before and after pictures as well, so you can see for yourself just how different it is. My garden brings me so much joy, and I haven't been feeling the greatest lately, especially today. It was a really bummer day. So I just wanted to do this with you. So I hope you will enjoy it. Okay, you guys, so my garden looks very different this year. This is my backyard, and I'm a proud owner of this beautiful spot. I will show you the before picture, and you will be very surprised because when we moved in here in 2019, in summer, actually almost exactly 4 years ago, we moved in. There was nothing. There was just black, partially covered bark. There was nothing on this side at all, and it was like all dead. It looked like dead dirt. Nothing was in here. We're still struggling with this whole side. We're slowly creeping up to it, trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. Okay? But I hope you will enjoy this before and after pictures because it's quite a difference, isn't it? I'm very proud of it. Every single plant here we planted ourselves, planted all the shrubs, all the trees, all of it, moved all the rocks. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, every garden is in state of progress. It's never ending. It's always changing. I'm changing something every single year. So expect more changes. Oh, look at the cute birdie. Hey, birdie. My garden is a true bird sanctuary because I love birds so much. We have 3 bird feeders. 1. Here's a big one. 2, because it's in front of our kitchen window and we look at it every single day and see birdies eat from it like all the time. And then there's 1 on the side yard. You can also see that I have multiple bird baths, including a little fountain. And this is something very new this year. First we started, me and Mila, with just a bird bath. It was just a saucer from a planter. We just got whatever was the cheapest one, the biggest size, and put a rock in there so they can land. And I have to say, that's all birds need. You do not need fancy bird feeders. I had an extra kind of a plant stand. Birds come here, I don't know how many times. Like, every time I look at this platter, there's a bird sitting. They're swimming in it, and I update water every single day. Just do it with the hose. That's all they ever do. They don't need no fancy fountains. Even though some beautiful birds do come here to take a drink and mostly swim around, most of them kind of hang out here and then they move on to here, and then they like take a bath in here. So truly, my suggestion, take just a big ceramic plate, use that. Okay, so this is a new addition. I really wanted a water fountain for like over a year now, and I could not decide of what I wanted. So I stopped after a very long discussion with a lot of different gardeners on internet and everywhere, and I decided to go with this pondless fountain in the shape of a rock because, well, our garden is all rocks. And we're not planning on getting rid of them. So I wanted something that I can play up, and we've just installed this. Me and Daryl dug out a big hole, put the basin in there, the pump in there, and then this concrete, kind of fiberglass concrete box. It's quite hollow, but it's very heavy, and it's all inside there. We did a whole job here with Daryl. We had to run a wire to plug it in, and then there's electric box right there. Okay, it's not finished. Also, I want to plant beautiful plants around it, but we literally just finished it a couple weeks ago. And then we just kind of piled up the rocks on top of the basin. I love it. It's exactly what my garden was missing. I cannot wait for this Japanese maple to grow even bigger, even though it's quite chubby now. But I know it's gonna kind of overhang over it, and it's gonna create this beautiful kind of canopy, and it would be so, so pretty. And I planted some ferns here that are going to get pretty big, and they look beautiful. Okay, so on this side, this beautiful maple here, this is Emperor 1 that me and my mom planted last year. We are missing bark. You might notice it. We're still trying to price it out and figure out how to do this either ourselves or hire somebody. So we're still thinking about it. But I do know that I'm getting sun-baked soil that is really, really bad. But that's what it is. But we had a very wet winter and spring, so this maple is doing great. It didn't double in size, but at least grew in 1.5 size since we bought it. Also, new addition on top is I planted a little bit of a beautiful... What was that? Was that a gigantic cicada? Oh my gosh! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's look at it. Hold on. Oh my God! He just flew. Okay, who is that? Look at that, guys. Okay, that's gigantic. Oh my goodness. Should I be worried? He's pretty huge too. So anyway, that's my grape. Wow, I would have to I might have to take a picture, you guys. Hold on 1 second so I can look it up later. I did a wire, so I'm hopeful they'll grow. These are my poisonous plants. I forgot the name, but just in case you don't know, this is an extremely poisonous plant, and you can find it anywhere in California and southern states. Don't touch it. Do not even sniff the flower. Okay. I know some terrible stories where children did not survive after eating one little flower, but I'm not going to bum you out. Okay, now I'm going to try to get down. You're going to think that this is funny, but this is our life with my lower back injury. Okay, I planted these wood Daryl crepe myrtle trees. These are called dynamite, and they're supposed to grow about up to 20 feet. They're going to be long and skinny and tall. That's the plan. Here's a look, by the way, from the top. My strawberry tree is always struggling. Every year it's dropping its leaves. You can see how many leaves. I don't know. I also planted these, which are a version, just a shrub of this tree. And they also dropped a lot of their leaves. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm trying. Okay, my rock rose is looking beautiful. And these Breath of Heaven, always a highlight of my garden. Okay, so this is a super petunia. Let me see, I got this one from online order from Proven Winners. That's the name. Picasso in purple, super petunia. I barely feed it. I think I really only fed my plants maybe like twice since I've planted them like in late April, I want to say. And this guy's doing great. I have 3 of them I'll throw out. Okay. Some of the new things, I've planted this grass. It's very small right now, but it's beautifully purple. I have awesome gladioli. Do you guys remember me planting them? Yep, I had a video with them and they all came up, all of them. I've planted like 20. Here's another one. Yesterday we had a very high wind and this huge, beautiful guy got knocked over and started falling. So now I'm just kind of propping it with the other plants. It's barely holding on. So yeah, he got knocked over either by wind or a bird or something. It is what it is. Here's our beautiful mandarin tree. It's a dwarf, so it's gonna pretty much, this is just a little bit bigger it might get. We planted it when it was about like 3 years old, I'd say, and then we planted it about 4 years ago now. So it's a pretty much an adult now, and it doesn't look huge, which is what was our plan. It grows to like up to 6 feet or so, and it's about 4.5 feet right now. This year I've added fertilizer. I haven't fertilized it at all previous years, and it gave me all this giant growth. Look at these branches. This for a dwarf, it started right here. That's how much it grew in one season, just this spring. We also had a lot of rain though too. But I must say, look at the fruit. There's almost no fruit. There's like 1, 2, and that's it. Last year I had like 12 mandarins on this guy. It's okay. They were delicious though. They're the ones with the soft skin. But we have a giant growth on my poor peach tree. This year, it's barely holding it. Look, it's almost on the ground. I should have pruned it this spring or this winter. I have so many peaches, and they're huge. These are white peaches. There's so many of them, you guys. You just can't even tell them right now, but there's so many of them. I'm so happy. Last year we had like maybe 3 peaches. The previous year maybe like 1 when we planted it. But this year it took off. I already trimmed it a little bit because it was just so much bigger too, but I'm so happy. I'll show you this behind there in another video. I've planted a couple of lerporiums, I think it's called, the Chinese French flower. I've planted a couple of them, but they're very tiny. Okay, so this is my sweet flag grass. That's the only thing that kind of grows in here because it's like a swamp. It's a standing water all the time. You can actually see how dark the dirt is compared to other areas. Okay, then these are my roses. Iceberg roses were just finished blooming. I just deadheaded them. They looked amazing. By the way, I have to say, I got this one 1 month apart from this one. This one I got for $40 from our local nursery of roses. This one I got from Walmart for $19, and I thought, wow, I got a deal. And then it's a very different producer. So this, I don't know, it's supposed to be the same iceberg roses, but you can tell, you know, a good brand versus a cheap discounted brand. It doesn't give me the same effect. So anyway, this is a new rose that I have just planted a couple days ago. I got it actually from the same nursery. All of my roses are from there. It's a beautiful, like it's in Shingle Springs, and it's a very small local nursery. I love that spot. They have like chickens there and the cat that you can pet. So anyway, this one I found online, and it's called Barbara Streisand. And it's a beautiful, highly fragrant floribunda, so it's multiple roses at the same time. You can see they're all coming up. It smells amazing. Right now it's kind of finishing off, but it looks beautiful. It has this classic small kind of skinny rose, which is what I love sometimes because I have a lot of the fluffy ones. So anyway, this is my Barbara Streisand rose. I'm very excited about it. So there's been a few different extras that I've planted. You can see them around. Our trees are doing great this year because of all the rain. They're nice and lush. This one's okay. And again, I'll show you more explanation on this side later, but our plum tree is doing great as well. So then you guys, this side is very different this year, as you noticed. This is the latest edition. I dug out some of my lawn here. We did sort of like steps to go up towards the waterfall, and then I wanted to do a beautiful border on this side, and honestly I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but just maybe not this year because I basically broke my back because of this. Because I was digging up the rocks, setting them up, bringing all the dirt, putting all these plants in, and I basically busted my back. Anyway, it's my bad. A lot of my perennial salvias did not come back, just this one. The rest, I had 3 more and they all died because of too much water, I believe. So this year I have a beautiful border here. I have Helen Weinstein lamb's ears. You know, I love my salvias. These are lipstick salvia, hot lips, I'm sorry, and it looks beautiful. It's gonna get more bushy, so we'll wait for that. I've planted a lot of cosmos this year. I went to a lot of these beautiful garden tours, and a lot of places had cosmos in there and a lot of salvias, and I just am so crazy about it. I just like it so much. I had to plant it, so I got like a 6-pack, and I just maybe more and planted them around it. And I must say, just pollinators love these. We get butterflies, all kinds of bees. I love that they're so pretty in color. I do deadhead them because I do not want them to seed. Because it's an annual, I might change it up for next year. My Chiching rose is doing pretty good. Again, also just finished blooming, so I just cut it down so I don't have any extra. But you see I have a lot of sunflowers, some all kinds of sizes. I have this one that a bird is eating. He's coming every day. It's a little yellow finch. He comes every day and bites it. I let him, I'll be honest. I'm okay. Because I have this ginormous guy. Look at this giant sunflower. I did not expect it. He's covering up everything all around him. Planted some of this beautiful grass too, again, for a little bit of interest later in the year. I also planted these pretty things. And I'm afraid I'm gonna butcher the name. It's called rock rose succulents, and it's like porcelain or something. Anyway, it blooms in incredibly beautiful purple flowers. It's very cottagey look, even though it's succulents. It looks like a cottage flower. So I'm very excited for it to start blooming. It's all over the Bay Area. We went to Monterey, and everywhere they had these, and I had to have it. I wanted to cut it out, but I didn't. I ended up buying it online on Etsy. More Helen Weinstein lamb's ears. I am obsessed with this plant. I have 2 of them right here, kind of creating an entrance, and talk about it later. Okay, real quick look here. This is our pomegranate. It gotten huge. I had to literally stake it because it was just laying on the ground. You guys, what am I supposed to do with pomegranate that's so shrubby and bushy that it lays on the ground? Like, it's not supposed to do that. But you can actually see how thin the branches are. I did fertilize it, I must say. So I think I did more damage than good. Because I wanted it to grow faster, but instead it just grew, without being able to hold itself. And I have buds, so I'm very excited. Have a couple buds here and there, so I'm hopeful to get actual pomegranates this year. This is a very new addition too, and you can see these cool aphids on it. And I don't say cool aphids often because when I was purchasing them, I was talking to a lady, and she was gushing about this cool ecosystem that milkweed, which is what this is, creates for itself. And part of that ecosystem is creating these very unique aphids. You will never find it on any other plants, she said. And it like attracts certain type of bugs to your backyard, very, very beneficial. So it's like its own little creation. And this milkweed does not mind them. Like, it doesn't get actually like any kind of damage from them, which was very surprising. And then it's going to naturalize, and I thought it would be beautiful. It's a full sun here spot. I'm not even gonna add a drip to it because it's supposed to be drought tolerant, and it's native. So I think I'm just gonna let it be and see how it grows on its own. I have a few additions to my garden that I got obsessed over last fall, and this is one of them. So this is called pineapple sage. Looks like this with the flower. Golden delicious pineapple sage. You guys, they call it pineapple sage for a reason, okay? These leaves, when you crush them, they smell just like pineapple. It's crazy. It's so sweet. I want to eat it. I'm not sure actually if you can eat it. I should research it. Because I would use this in cocktails instead of mint every day. It tastes, it smells amazing. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. So anyway, so I planted it. Also got it from Proven Winners. I got order shipped. So I have 3 of these throughout my yard, and I'm excited. I'm very excited about them. Okay, so I also planted bees balm. Also wanted to naturalize on this hill. Nothing grows on this hill. So I have milkweed, pomegranate, as you can tell, and bees balm. Okay, we made a little succulents area here with Mila. Kind of collect all the small succulents and put it in a pot. We have a couple of friends in here. Okay, then this rose I'm obsessed with, you guys. It's called Bolero. And I put it right here, right in front of my balcony door, because it gives the most amazing scent. Just the most amazing scent. It's just about to flower again. I'll try finding a video of it previously, but when the windows are open and the sun is beaming it, it's one of those roses that gets hot and gets beautiful scent. So it travels inside of the house, and it's so pretty. So this is another rose. So again, my roses I get from that nursery in Shingle Springs, and I love it. This is another rose. This is Lady Gardener from David Austin. Very proud owner of this rose. It's also very pretty. I will also try to find some videos of that. So this is my little succulents area, collection, whatever. I like to kind of do them in big drifts, and then I put a few small ones here and there. Wait, little lizard. Hey, bud. Pardon the bowl and stuff. Obviously, it's a child-owned area. This is my giant citronella plant. I've cut it in half already, and I dug out a big chunk of it and gave it to my friend so she can plant it. And it's still huge. I'm gonna dig it out. I was waiting for it to finish flowering. I'll show you some flowers. And now that it's over, I'm gonna dig it out. I'm gonna plant another rose in here because it gets a beautiful partially shade, but it's a part sun spot right here. And it's gonna be just beautiful with my lamb's ear here and coral sedum here. This is a little messy area. Everything here planted is what Mila wants to plant because it's next to her garden. So she picks and chooses everything and plants in here with me. So, that's her area. And then these are my lilies. One just finished flowering. This one's kind of limpy. I don't know. My ferns are doing great though. The whole row of them, there's 5 of them. 3 off the southern something. Spear. It's those ones, they're quite popular. And then these are the other ones. And another huge succulent pot. This is my Japanese maple tree. It already has changed its color from bright red. I'll try finding video for that too. Into this slightly more burgundy color. Still extremely beautiful. Just so healthy. It brings me so much joy. I cannot tell you how much joy it brings me. I love it so much. So anyway, this is Mila's fairy garden. It looks super adorable. Again, she picked everything, we organized it with her, and planted everything together. So you ring the bell to go into her little garden. That's a crabapple tree. I shape this Japanese maple and crabapple tree just so it doesn't touch fully, but so it creates this beautiful shade in afternoon, as you can tell right now. So she can play here during the day, and it's like this little secluded area, but in the morning it's filled with sun and it's so pretty. We'll have to paint, double paint. We do kitchen. We make perfumes with Mila from herbs and flowers that smell good. Okay, she painted her son. We have a little pot in here. So this is the garden view from this side. I love it so much. This is almost what I see from the window from the bedroom. Just a little bit more of the tree too. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? I love it so much. Okay, so here in the middle, I have a little bit of a pot situation. We just put a bunch of different pots. I just ran irrigation to it, so I'm excited. We have some lilies with strawberries. We have some herbs, a little bit more. I keep forgetting what these are called. Poker head or something. It's for hummingbirds. They love it. Another super tunia. I have a bunch of sunflowers, a bunch of them. This is my other herb bucket. So I have my wonderful verbena. I love to smell it so much. It's so it's so refreshing. I have dill that I keep cutting because it gets huge. And some cooking sage. It's a standoff of faces. Look at that. What is he doing? Whoa. Hey, cutie. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. They love me and Mila so much. Okay. So you guys, now this has been the biggest change in our yard. I will try to find you the way this looked last year and then the year before even. And you will see just how much of a difference this is, just how different it is. It is my favorite spot in the yard, my favorite. So we ended up changing the positioning of all of our raised beds. We moved this 6-foot one here and made it just berry patch. So we have 3 types of strawberries. We have this bush raspberry that's thornless. We have this blueberry bush that didn't give me anything. And I have some of the wild strawberries here, but they're not really coming up, so I'm giving up. And this big one we left just as is. And I've been planting big crops in here. I tried planting corn, as you remember, and I planted it together with potatoes. And there was a big problem because the corn started dying. It never actually grew. I believe that these russet potatoes just took away all of its nutrients, even though I've been adding compost like crazy. Like almost every week I was adding compost and like all the delicious yumminess for the veggies, and nothing. So I ended up pulling the corn, keeping the potatoes. They just done flowering. So I'm actually thinking of pulling them out to get some maybe like new potato flavors. Instead, I've added more good soil and Instead, I've added more good soil in there, and I've planted some dahlias. These are huge dahlias, like gigantic size. Only one came up so far. I'll have to dig it out and see if everything's... Oh, there's another one right there. And then another one right here. Put little rocks in here to remind myself. Okay, this one's still dead. So this one might not come up. That's okay. And now this is my little bummer. So I bought a new rose this year, the Zephyrin Dwarfin. It's a pink climber, and he was doing great until he didn't. He got gigantic powdery mildew problem. All of the leaves were covered, all of the plants and beautiful flowers were everything. So I had to trim it all the way down. I tried spraying it, it burned. Anyway, the bottom line is, I looked up that you can just take them all down, all the way down, leave a couple buds, and leave one small branch with the least amount of disease. And that's what I did. So I'm waiting to see. I see one little leaf here. I'm very hopeful, but some of these branches look dead to me now. So I might have killed it, I don't know. But the bottom line is it was very diseased. I had to just take it all down. So that's my plan now for this, is that I'm gonna start planting partially some vegetables here, and then the back will be basically flowers. That's my plan too, to have a climbing rose in here and have it go up the fence and to the side. And this window, you're asking me? Yes, that's right, that's the window that I used in the ASMR video. So I have a question. My plan is to kind of wash it a little bit. I'm not going to repaint it or do anything because I love how kind of old style it looks. It has a white side, as you can tell, and then it has this kind of purple, kind of old purple side almost. I kind of like the white, and it has the hinges still that are working. So I'm thinking either to replace the hinges or not. But the bottom line is I'm gonna hang it all the way up top here. And I want to kind of spray it. I got the sprayer, like a protective, sort of like a lacquer spray to protect it from rotting. So I'll spray that in a couple days. I'm not planning on repainting it or anything. I wanted to leave it just like this. And I want to hang it by these door hangers. I forgot the name. And I'm thinking of putting some stickers in there, like beautiful flower stickers, more natural looking. We'll see. I'll show you that later. But I think it's going to look so pretty, kind of framing everything. These are some of my blueberries. They're here, but they're just, still growing, not ready. This is our old strawberry batch. I kind of left it. This guy is borrowed landscape from neighbors. And it comes from them, as you can tell. They have a whole lot of them. And I just kind of kept it because I love it. It's evergreen. It's one of the only things that stays green, and it had beautiful blooms where the bees were buzzing, and just loved this so much. I'm just trimming its roots so it doesn't spread here because I don't actually want it in my yard. Okay, so, and of course, this is my veggie garden. 2 sides. We've added 2 4x2 raised boxes here, besides the 2 barrels for herbs and the sunflowers. This is what they look like now. Okay, so this side I have beautiful beans that are growing all the way to the top now and meeting in the middle now with the other side. I'm very excited about that because it's going to give me more shade in the summer when the heat kicks in, if it ever does. It's such a healthy plant. I've planted it from seed, just like I did last year, and I just love the look. We don't actually eat the beans, but I love the way it looks, and I love the shade, the beautiful leaves it creates, and it brings more bees. These are my 2 different cucumbers. This year I've planted Burpless from seed and Armenian. Somebody's eating my leaves. And Armenian cucumber. Still waiting for the first cucumber. I have a lot of flowers, but none of them actually made a fruit. So we'll see. I have, again, a bunch of herbs here too. Beautiful lemony, thyme, some small flowers. Anything to bring pollinators, to pollinate my beautiful flowers. Some marigolds, beautiful basils. And then this tomato, you can actually see, I see a lot of fruit in here. See? There's a lot of small ones too here. So this one's called yellow pear. I'm actually very surprised that it's gotten so big. It's gigantic. It's almost as tall as the tree now. And I've been very vigilant with trimming any wild, this little, I don't know what to call them, elbow growers, whatever. I really feel like these tomatoes are ready to go, but they're green. So I don't know if I should remove them and still try them, but I feel like they should be like ready. But okay, so this side is a little more wild. It's in the sun right now. And here I have some basil that doesn't want to grow from seed, more marigolds, onion that's just getting crumpled by this tomato. And then look at all of these tomatoes, you guys. They're so heavy. I'm really wondering if I'm supposed to like have a suspension to keep them up. Please let me know if I am supposed to hold them up. I have a bunch of them on the side as well. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm very much watching my tomatoes this year, just like you guys suggested, to make sure it doesn't become a bush, kind of a shrub like it did last year. So this one's called Black Beauty tomato. It looks amazing already, honestly. I'm very excited to try them out. Okay, then this one is the second tomato. Also has a lot of tomatoes on it too already. And same thing, I'm watching to make sure there's no extra growth, trimming it if I must. Okay, very pretty plant. And this one is called Pineapple Pig. Okay, also huge tomatoes, supposed to be. Also a very tall and beautiful plant. And again, just like you guys suggested to me, making sure that it's one string line. The bottom foot I defoliated off the ground to make sure there's more breathing room. And then here's more thyme. And then I planted a pumpkin. Yes, I'm brave. I did it. I'm gonna try it. And this is a sugar pie pumpkin. I'm gonna watch it grow. Hopefully we'll have some for Halloween. We'll see how it goes. But my plan is to kind of, once it get longer, I'll train it up. There's a whole section right here that's empty. And I think it's going to love it here. And it'll give me more interest for late summer and fall to climb up. Okay, so every single day, almost every single day I come here. I sit here in the morning because that's where the shade is. Look out this way. I'll show you. Okay, I sit like this. I smell my tomatoes. I look at all of my beautiful flowers. I see hummingbirds. I see my waterfall. Mila could be riding her little roller coaster. Life is beautiful. And then I come right here. So, and here I sit in afternoon. I look at my beautiful beans covering up everything. Little tomatoes hanging here. And just watch and listen from this angle. Watching the bees buzz. Watching the hummingbirds and birds in the bird feeder right there. Or taking a swim in the bath. And life is beautiful. And it helps me manage my stress. So this tree, remember, we wanted to cut it down last year. It totally is still alive. I'm not going to listen to professionals anymore, I swear to God. He told us to cut it down as quickly as we can because it's a rotting tree that's going to die very, very quick and very soon. And then we had gigantic storms this spring and winter, and not one branch fell down. And it's still standing strong, and it does not look sick. Tell me if it looks sick. It has a little bit of mushrooms on its trunk, and that's it. So we kept it. Decided to keep it for now. So this is my little paradise. Right here. I hide in here. I sit like this. In my little vegetable garden, right by Mila's little garden. And I hide in here so nobody can find me. Okay, let me show you a couple more things. Okay, so this side, I have pretty cool things. This is my graft. Yes, that's right. I grafted a pear. I don't know what kind of a pear it is, but my friend said it's a very sweet pear. I trimmed it from her tree. She allowed me to cut a scion, I think it's called, and I'm obsessed with it. I did over 12 grafts this year, but only a few survived. But it is what it is. So this is one of them. So on my crabapple tree, this is another one. This is Granny Smith apple. Also a graft right here. I'm a proud owner of a grafted tree that I did myself. You can actually see how it healed. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so you can actually see how it healed. I started unwrapping it. I probably should rewrap it and leave it for a little bit longer. But I'm excited to get some real life apples on my crabapple tree. Highly recommend you trying. Our shed is doing good. Our pear trees are doing good. Here I've planted little rose. I don't know how it's gonna do, you guys. I think it's called Ladybanks. Yes, it's a white Ladybanks rose. It's a little crazy. It flowered beautifully and then kind of stopped growing, so we'll see. Blackberry bush has no flowers or blackberries this year. That's it. And then this is also a new rose that I just planted this spring. It's called Cecile Banks. Oh no, I'm sorry, Cecile Brunner. It's on the main cane up. Then I trained the side ones on the side. Okay. It's pretty flowers. They already bloomed out. Okay. And one more graft right here. Look at that. Another pear. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna say goodbye. My battery's about to die. So I'll show you the rest another time. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.